cheap to build. You can use your own skill and talent to build it, and it is safe, secure, and mostly it does not pollute the environment, and it actually helps clean up the environment, and it allows every single person to provide all their own food, all their own energy, all their own security, and everything they need, and it's going to really support the planet and get us off of this petrochemical deluge of toxins and chemicals produced by the petrochemical industry that's about to die. How does that sound?
Well, it sounds wonderful. You know, one of the problems, and the reason I came up with the idea of Liberty Villages is I figured if you could grow your own food and generate your own energy, then you don't need the government. You don't need the government for nothing, do you?
No mortgage. No, you know, you got to pay some taxes, but you know, avoid the mortgage, avoid all of the legal turmoil. Basically, our home, providing a decent, clean, healthy home, which we now are not doing, takes all of our energy and effort and struggle, because we're struggling against the monsters that don't want us to have freedom, justice, or true love. They want to enslave us into what's right and wrong, good and bad, and all the duality of conflict.
Repeat that for me. Repeat that for me so I can understand this.
Well, the bucksters, the people with the gold bars, control everything we do. They control the press. They control the government. They basically keep us enslaved so that we can do their work. You know, if we don't maintain the environment, who is? And so it's like a trap that we've all been captured in. We've all been enslaved mentally, physically, socially, emotionally, in every way you can. But what science has just discovered is that all of our behavior and our actions are 98% subconscious, based on our training and our programming that we get between age 3 and 5. So by age 5, we're programmed to be slaves. The dictators tell us what to do, what to fear, who to hate, and watch your neighbor. You know, it's like it's a big scam game, so that we are totally enslaved. You know, and this has been going on for centuries and centuries. But
the only thing that's different is, you know, I've got a film out, Frank, called "No Such Thing as a New World Order," and in my opinion, the money changers that Jesus ran out of the temple are still with us. They just changed the name of the temple. They call it the Federal Reserve or the Bank of England now.
Yeah, well, the Federal Reserve and the banksters are really their tool, and it's all like a secret society that most of us don't know about. And in other words, the truth is the CIA, the mafia, the politicians, they're all in a common game to keep control of the people, and we are the people. In other words, the strange thing about it is that we have met the enemy, and they are us. You know, we're the ones that watch over our neighbor to make sure they don't steal our next door neighbor, and it's like we're our own worst enemy, and we're the slaves, and we're the slave watchers, and we're the workers, and you know, we're the puppets, and they're the puppet masters.
Let me share this with you. I wrote this about 15 years ago, And while we're on the subject here, you were bred to be a slave in a tightly controlled society. Your chains are invisible. Your schools teach you to be content with your lot in life while they train you to follow orders. Your history's been changed gradually. Your grandfather knew more than your father and less than his. You were poisoned at birth by mercury-contaminated vaccines, a time bomb, if you will. The poisoning continues through your teenage years and adulthood. Cigarettes, alcohol, aspartame, sugar, makeup, and McDonald's style, fast food kill you slowly but give you pleasure. Add hard drugs like ecstasy, add prescription medication, and your mind and body deteriorates until you are no longer able to discern reality. You're fed politically correct slogans, urged to forfeit your manhood by movies and TV, which also tell you who you can vote for. You and your countrymen are drained of your income by fads and taxes. You're told it's okay to pay for your house and car 3 times. Bible reading is discouraged, just as it was during the Middle Ages. By the time you wake up to what they have done to you, it's time to die or check into a rest home where you're fed more drugs. If you die before the induced senility sets in, the government charges your family a death tax, resulting in their selling off the family business or farm to pay the inheritance tax. Your final years are filled with doctor visits and a suitcase of pharmaceuticals. Finally, you are taught that your oppressors, exploiters are the chosen ones of the Bible, and that too is a lie to deny you your birthright and make you believe this is the way it's supposed to be. Now, did I capture that? What you're talking about, what you've been speaking about, and what you're trying to solve with these synergy homes? Did I capture that well?
Yes, and the beauty of it is we've solved these problems. We've solved them completely. We now know how to rewrite our brain so that we're not like a puppy dog. We know how to have perfect health. What they've discovered from medical science is that a healthy mind and body will heal itself of any disease. And I'm talking about any disease. ADD, obesity, attention deficit syndrome, and on and on and on. All these diseases are caused by the addicting foods, primarily fluoride, high fructose corn syrup, and gluten, which means wheat, rye, and barley. All of these things are very addicting, and they're very destructive to the human body. And we've now discovered this primarily at the University of California, San Francisco, and San Diego.
Now, repeat that, please.
Pardon me?
Repeat that. What about San Diego?
Well, they're a leader in this reprogramming your brain so you can do what you want to do and what you're destined to do and manifest your true. See, most of our true potential is locked up in our subconscious mind. We're trained to be monkeys, and the truth is we can become conscious creators of our own destiny, our own reality, our own planet. We can manifest whatever we choose, but we're working for the slave masters instead of the benefit of the whole planet.
Well, that's exactly what we're doing. They have perfected the art of slavery to the point that the slave don't know they're a slave. I'm not a slave. I can go get my pickup, go get a beer. Watch here, show. Let me show you. Now,
yeah, we're bombarded in our kids. It starts in TV, in kindergarten. Our kids are programmed, but the beauty of it now, we've discovered the keys to unlock our programming, to free us up and release our true potential, which is way beyond our wildest imagination.
Jesus told us, by the way, Jesus told us that you can do what I do and more. He was trying to tell us that we've got a direct connection with God, with the Akashic records, whatever you want to call it. We've got a direct connection there. It's called a soul.
Yeah. Yes, we do. And the beauty of it is we're already in transformation, and it's already a done deal. You don't even have to do anything anymore. The transition is happening, and like about 1/6 of the population is already starting to wake up, and it's like we've reached the 100th monkey effect, and we are literally transforming right as we speak now. And we know how to do it scientifically, biologically, spiritually, and on and on and on. The truth is, we're all one big team of conscious creators, and we're shifting from subconscious reactors to conscious creators of the reality that we choose to live in and be by.
That's the whole point behind Liberty Villages. If you've got 10 friends, 10 people that you enjoy being with. I mean, you know, we're all different, man. I mean, there's a lot of people don't like hanging around a campfire, drinking a Budweiser, and listening to the roar of motorcycles. I happen to find that really soothing. You know, but the whole idea of Liberty Villages, if you can find 10 people and you can put together a small community, used to call it a township, used to call it a village, and you can grow your own food and generate your own electricity and take care of the people there. And now we can do something. Can't we do low-cost structures now that are just as durable as these 2,000 square foot boxes that the Europeans? I personally, I think we followed the wrong direction in this country. I think we should have lived more like the Indians and adopted the Indian way of life than the European bunch of boxes on a side of a mountaintop. What do you think, Frank?
Yes, our homes are toxic energy sieves, but we now know how to change them real simple.
Don't we have to get rid of the corners, all the evil spirits hiding up in the corners, along with the spiders, don't they?
No. The evil spirits are in your brain. In other words, whatever you worry about, that's what you're going to create in your life. So if you want a healthy environment for your family, that should be your objective, and don't worry about damaging somebody else. Just worry about creating your own healthy environment, and whether it's a castle or a tent is irrelevant.
Okay.
But we can convert these toxic energy sieves to healthy, vibrant homes that provide all their food, all their energy for just pennies. Literally pennies. I could build a whole room addition that'll provide all this information for less than a few $1,000s.
Well,
we can.
Go ahead.
Yes,
go ahead, sir. I refer to Liberty Villages as all the charm of the 19th century with all the convenience of the 21st. With the technology we have, we can generate power from solar, we can generate power from wind, and we can do it cheaply. I mean, you can cut a wheel up, take an axle, and weld a couple of 50-gallon barrels that you cut in half up and make a wind generator, for God's sake. We could generate our own power. We've got the technology here, and with the computer system and the satellite systems that we've got, we can and are interconnecting in such a way that we can pass information around. And to me, that's combining the beauty of the 19th century and the way we settled this whole country with windmills and horses across the country, and incorporating the technology that we've absorbed here. And isn't that what you're doing with these homes? Tell me about these homes. How are we going to do this? And where are you putting them? Have you built any of them yet?
Yes, I have. But the main secret, the basic ingredients to a healthy home is very simple, and it was actually discovered by the Department of Energy in the late 70s, but when they tried to make it public, they were crushed by the bucksters and the people who sell us energy and oil and all this pollution. They don't want a healthy, self-sustaining home because it puts them out of business. And so they basically crushed the Department of Energy. And the National Science Foundation was crushed when they tried to make this information available, and they actually fund these public organizations, and they set up the money to put it where they want the people to speak their tone, to whether it's environmentalists or the government. I remember I applied for a loan from the Department of Energy, and then when Bush got in office, all of a sudden they don't have any money, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and it's like our politicians are being strangled and paid off by the bucksters, and they tell us what we should and shouldn't do, and on and on and on, and you know the story.
Well, it's interesting that this technology that you're talking about, and I want to get in more detail on that, this technology you're talking about, and the technology, the whole energy companies were created over 100 years ago, but they weren't for, the Tesla had wireless electricity. You could walk into a house and it would absorb electricity out of the air or from a tower. And Morgan's comment was, where do you put the meter? No meter. No meter on wind or solar. And I've said Obama's idea of greening America is sell the top of that mountain over there to a foreign corporation so they can import big wind generators and sell the electricity back to the power company, and the power company will sell it back to you. Why not just skip all of that and go straight? You generate the wind, we put the solar, we put the magnetics on our house, and the magnetic generators exist, folks. It's against national security for you to build one. And there were inventors out there. You met Paul Pantone there. He built one. He's the inventor of the GEAT device, which will get you 50 miles to the gallon. But he said he built a magnetic generator, and it worked. And he took it apart because his wife and his family thought they would kill him over that, and they would have.
Yes, well, it's like the Bloom box. It was on 60 Minutes. I don't know. They built 3 of these machines over 3 years ago, and one of them, they're providing all the electricity for the University of California in Davis, provides all their electricity, saves them hundreds of thousands of dollars every year, and they've been doing it for 3 years, and finally they had it on 60 Minutes, but then it was dead and died, and nobody knows about it, and it's like, I'm here at the Pikes Peak Community College, and I can't even access my computer because they've got the internet blocked off, and it's like we're fighting. We have become experts at destroying our environment, destroying each other, and we kill millions of people with our cluster bombs, our radioactive material, our crazy nuclear energy plants, and all this stuff in the name of oil and oil and oil, and we're boiling in it, and we don't realize it because we're brainwashed, brain dead, and it's a shame. But the beauty is we're waking up, and we've learned a lot from our experience and our past history.
There's a tremendous awareness going on now too. The oil companies. I backed Jack Herer while he was writing "The Emperor Wears No Clothes." Jack's viewpoint was hemp could save the world, and I agree with him on that. Our number one cash crop in this country was hemp, and with that hemp, we could make cars. We could run the cars on it. We could do it a totally renewable resource planet, and it helps your soil, whereas cotton destroys it. And you could use that hemp to make a plastic that a sledgehammer would bounce off of. And somehow they made that illegal. And DuPont, because DuPont got the patent on the oil-based nylon and rayon, so they destroyed our $1 billion crop, or took it from us, basically took it for us. You can still get 10,000 products made out of hemp. You just got to buy it from Red China. So isn't that part?
I know. Well, most people don't realize it, but the CIA controls all of the drugs coming into this country, and they don't want the competition with people growing their own.
That's right. Right. And I've documented that in my book, Mystery Babylon, and I sold quite a few copies there in Albuquerque.
But anyway, the people are waking up. Really, this is becoming so obvious, especially the Netsters. I mean, you know, the Netsters are communicating with people all over the world, and they don't have time to be brainwashed on what they should and shouldn't do, because people just left alone are beautiful. You know, anybody look at a baby, and that's beauty in a box until it gets to school, and we wrap it in a blue ribbon and ship it to camp.
Well, they don't call it programming for nothing.
That's right. You know, our whole school system, was set up by Horace Mann, who was from Germany, and he was training how to control people, you know, and that was their whole game, is setting up a community or a state that could control people, and Hitler almost took over the whole planet with his idiotic method of controlling people, and so it's like, we know it's doable. The human can do anything, and especially control people and tell them what to do and what not to do.
The only answer that I see, Frank, is going back to the idea of the self-sufficient family farm, or let's change that to a self-sufficient family situation. They want to destroy families because you've got unity in family. You can turn to somebody and say, hey, bro, want to help me here? And if we could, the way to start that is in your own home. Now, tell me about your system here. And we got...
well, basically, I just use the simple technology to create a clean, healthy environment, so the water you drink does not have fluoride in it. The air you breathe does not have toxins in it, any of this toxins that we're dumping into the air. And the food you eat does not have gluten, does not have high fructose corn syrup, the things that are killing us. And it's real simple. It's nothing magic. We know how to do it, and it's just that we have to erase all of the garbage from our brains that keep us controlled and in ignorance. Literally, we're in true ignorance. And if you read, there's people like Wayne Dwyer and Krishnamurti, and all these people have been telling this for decades, but we can't hear them because our brains are so, by age 5, our brains are so programmed that they're just like a responsive, reactive mind that just reacts subconsciously, and we think we're rational, but we're totally irrational slaves, enslaved by our own brains.
Okay, now what I need from you, I need to know how you're doing this. How is this home being constructed? How are you going to clean the air? How are you going to get the fluoride out of the water? How are you going to spin the water in the right in the right method to recover it from going through those pipes? When they go through a pipe, the water has a negative spin. And how are you going to power? How are you going to power these homes?
Yes, there's many ways to do it, and if my website explains all of it, simple in terms, you know, and I'll help anybody do it, and you know, I don't charge anything. I just want people to have healthy homes.
Tell me
know how to do it.
Tell me how to do it. We've got an audience all over the world here. Tell me how you're going to help them, sir. Tell me how you're going to how your home, how this home that you've got up on the website, how and they may not be at a place. They may be listening to us on a cell phone right now, and may not be able to check your website. The website is linked on here. They'll be able to hear it on the show. I want to know how we're going to. Are you talking about building a home that stands all by itself right here? We can put it out here next to me. Are you talking about what are you talking about here? What are we looking at?
I can convert your old home for a few $1,000s. I can build a new home, a tent or a castle, doesn't matter. And I just use, what I basically don't do is use any toxic compounds. And I teach you how to fix your meals so you don't have high fructose corn syrup. If you go to the grocery store, every single thing in the grocery store has high fructose corn syrup. The reason is because it's very addicting, very, very addicting. It's in Cokes, it's in all of our schools, in the pop machines, the vending machines, the lunch counter, all have high fructose corn syrup. We all drink water with fluoride in it. We all breathe air that's full of toxins. It's like, you just got to stop doing what's killing you. End of story, and we know the answers. This is not a mystery. The National Science Foundation and the Department of Energy, they've discovered this decades ago, but the people don't want to hear it because it disagrees with everything they've been programmed to believe. You know, listen to the kids' TV shows, and they're telling us how to blackmail your mother and how to bribe.
Okay, I don't want to go in that direction. I want to know what you're going to do. Okay, I got a couple of $1,000s here that I can set aside.
Yes.
How are you going to change my house? How are you going to change my house? What do we have to do? Tell me.
I'll come to your house. I'll look at it. I'll give you a plan, and for that $2,000, you can change your whole house.
How, sir? How, Frank?
Well, I will make a room addition, a small room addition that's maybe 10 by 10, that's maybe 20 or 30 feet high, that provides all your food, all your energy. It cleans all your air, so you have clean, healthy air, and the whole thing could be managed by a 12-year-old handicap doing less than an hour's a day and learning about health and nutrition by fixing his own breakfast and fixing the meals for the family and raising the food and watching it grow and planting the beans and planting the seeds and just doing it. So, I've designed a room addition that can be run and managed by a 12-year-old handicapped person who can provide all the food, all the meals for the whole family in less than an hour a week.
How are you powering this room?
Well, it depends on the area, but all we get.
I'm trying for details here, Frank, and I'm getting real frustrated because I can't get any details from you.
Solar and or wind.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, and what about the gardens? You're talking about a vertical garden. There's systems out there called Vertigrow where they're trying to do that, but basically you got to pipe the water up and you got to store water here. How are you going to get the fluoride out? You got a reverse osmosis unit that you're going to add on. That's about $300. How are you going to get the fluoride out of the water?
You can use reverse osmosis, a well, or rainwater. The cheapest. There's enough rainwater come on your roof every day, every year, to provide all the food you need.
That's true. But if you live in Colorado, that's illegal to have a rain barrel.
I know